Alright, hello, my name is Daniel and I'm here today with a really fun build that I like to call Critical Mass Flak. So, the reason it's called Critical Mass Flak is for three separate puns at the same time. Number one, it's flak, so he crits a lot. Number two, you're using the prompt critical for your pretty much only weapon. And number three, critical mass is a term used in nuclear physics for explosions, and he used the rad prompt critical mainly for mobbing, so critical mass. Now, the setup for the build is honestly pretty simple. It can be a bit of a pain to farm for, especially getting prompt criticals, because the dedicated drop spot is Evil Lilith, or a world drop in DLC 4. So you need a prompt critical with a 200% splash damage ASC. Preferably if you have more than one for element matching, that's really useful. For bossing, for mobbing, you can normally stick to the rad one, it'll do everything. Then you're going to want an ASS stopgap. This is a rack attack build because racks scale with splash damage, so you use the ASC, spam your racks, they get to do damage, or critical does damage, it's fun. Then I have a pipe bomb equipped, but really any grenade with an ASC works. But if you want to meme around with the Peregrine, which is in the save file, then the pipe bomb is super fun. I also have a fish slap in here. Then you use a Cosmic Stalker for any mobbing. It's the Cosmic Stalker, it just makes your kill skills super, super strong. And when I go over the skill tree portion, which is pretty standard for flak, it'll make a lot of sense. Then you use the Atom Bomb Victory Rush for your artifact during mobbing. So now there are two bossing setups, and it really depends on what you're fighting. So if you're fighting a robot with lots of mobs, I'm about to do the Malawat takedown to show off the build, so check for both the Valkyries and WOTAN, then the Cosmic Stalker is perfect, you don't need to switch it. However, if you're fighting a non-robot, or you're fighting a robot that doesn't have a lot of mobs, like for example the end boss in Jack's Secret in the Handsome Jackpot, then you're going to want to be running a Bounty Hunter class mod. The reason you're going to want this is because the Bounty Hunter class mod, one, lets you get your kill skills off without actually killing anything, and two, you'll get the V2 bonus from Hunter's Eye, which is a skill that does bonus damage to armored enemies in particular. Robots specifically. So V2 bonuses, they apply to the entire damage formula, so it's a huge buff to be able to do it to the boss. There's also a couple of Peregrines in here for mobbing. One of them is for the fish slap, it has melee damage, the other one isn't. Those are pretty fun, and there's also some artifacts in here. I also have a Red Fang and a Deadeye for no particular reason. But so your bossing setup will usually look like Bounty Hunter and Pearl. But because WOTAN has so many mobs, and because the Valkyries have so many mobs and they're both robots, I don't need the Bounty Hunter, and honestly, I can keep the Vic Rush passive up, and the explosions I get are still fine, so it's still pretty fun. Now for the skill tree, so the important trees are the red and green trees, and then the blue tree, while I'm saying it's not that important, these two skills, when I get to them, they're a big source of damage, so they're huge picks. So for the red tree, we have Interplanetary Stalker, which is our big source of V1 damage from this tree. We have some reload speed. We keep bullets in the mag. The prompt critical doesn't have a very fast fire rate, and it has a high pellet count, so we never really have to worry about running out of ammo. I'll purposely avoid the ammo vending machine so that you guys can see how much ammo I have left at the end after a whole takedown. It's so ridiculously ammo efficient, it's insane. Hunter's Eye gives us bonus crit damage, armor damage against robots, and against robots or against bosses with Bounty Hunter, that applies to the whole rest of the damage formula, so it's a huge pickup. and then damage reduction versus beasts, which isn't that important. But if you equip the bounty hunter versus bosses, then you get the damage reduction and the crit damage as well. But the V2 damage is a huge pickup. Head count, so we can spam our racks more. And then for racks, I like to run Flock and Load and Rackcelerate, but it doesn't really matter which ones you pick. I recommend Rackcelerate because you need to be spamming racks, but it doesn't matter too much. Then we have the most dangerous game, and the big pickup for the Cosmic Stalker in particular, Big Game. So Big Game makes all of our hunter skills better. They just last longer, do more damage. And as you'll notice, so Interplanetary Stalker, huge damage source, V1 damage. Most dangerous game, huge damage source, gives us lots of gun and crit damage. And then also we have Galactic Shadow and Megavore, which are not hunter skills. But so these two are the hunter skills we care about in this tree. This is also a hunter skill. Reload speed is nice, but it's not that important. The other ones we care about are Furious Attack, lots of gun damage. And then, so there aren't any other hunter skills I picked up in this tree. I don't think there are any other ones in this tree. For the rest of the tree, you just go Furious Attack and Overclocked for damage, fire rate. This was kind of just a move down, but also more racks. Lick the Wound so that you don't die as much, because your pet's great. Turn tail and run, you get regen and damage reduction, or gun damage and fire rate. Usually you're moving around, so I don't really get that bonus. Fast and the Furious, more gun damage and move speed. Rage and Recover, big source of health regen. Because of the stopgap, proccing it all the time, you're going to be regenerating your health a lot while you're invincible. And then the Power Inside, huge source of V1 damage specifically. So big buff to the damage formula again. And then, so Persistence Hunter is just for gun damage. The action skill duration doesn't actually matter. This Ferocity is just to move down the tree. Although as a side note, if you want to use the Countess's attack command actually scales with splash damage, so that can be kind of fun, but not really practical. Then Frenzy, every time our pet deals damage, both our pet and us get a stack of Frenzy, which means we get more V1 damage. And that stacks up to 40%. So that's the biggest V1 boost in the whole tree. Or in the whole, all of Flax trees. And then He Bites, you get plus 5% damage reflected every time an enemy hits the Spider Ant, which is massive because it stacks Frenzy really quickly. So you actually do want to keep your Spider Ant alive, because when he goes down, you'll notice a really big drop in your damage because Frenzy's gone. Then we also run the Spider Ant Scorcher, which gives us 10% elemental damage. This is the only source of elemental damage that Fl4k has outside of artifact and comm rolls, so it's really important to have him equipped for the highest damage possible. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, some important notes on the rolls for your comm and artifact. So in class mod, the pistol damage roll is extremely important to maximize the damage of the prompt critical, because the pistol damage roll gives us another source of V2 damage, but only while using a pistol. So it matters a lot. Huge buff to our pistol's damage. Now, the Victory Rush, we can use that for extra elemental damage, which is why I use it for mobbing. Also, the Atom Bomb effect makes our radiation explosions much bigger and much more damaging, which makes mobbing so easy. Like, you'll see we'll get chains of explosions and it'll be fucking beautiful, absolutely glorious. So that's the most important thing. This is pretty much the God-rolled Victory Rush. And yeah, so the places where you're going to want to farm all this gear. So this is Evil Lilith or a World Drop in DLC 4. The Cosmic Stalker is from the Tyrant of Instinct in the Trial of Instinct, one of the Proving Grounds. You can get the Stopgap from El Drago in Jacob's Manor. The Pipe Bomb is a special drop, or the Pipe Bomb is a quest reward from a quest called Raiders of the Lost Rock. It's a really easy reward that you can get from the Reliance quest board. Then the Victory Rush, notes, The Victory Rush, you can get it as a world drop or from Azalea, the witch at the end of the witch quest in Jacob's Manor, once again. And then the Bounty Hunter you can farm off of Lieutenant Preston in Tanzandir Ruins. That is pretty much all the relevant gear. And the Pearl, as well, you can get that from completing story mode in DLC 2. Alright, now the build's been explained, let's go kill some stuff. So the gameplay loop is pretty simple. You just need to get your kill skills up and spam your racks so that you keep your ASCs on all the time. The ASCs are a huge damage source. Okay, so that's one down. Oh, right. Also, you're going to want sticky mode most of the time, because when things die, the stickies go off. See, those stickies did a lot of damage, and I don't even really have my kill skills up right now. There we go. Now we got some kill skills. And boom. And let's just strip the shields. Alright, and also, just to keep in mind, I started off the run with 1900 ammo in my magazine. You guys will see at the end of this that I'm going to have pretty close to that when I'm done. As you saw, the explosions just kind of destroyed him. So yeah, you get a lot of damage from the detonations. Flak makes much better use of the detonations than Moze does, surprisingly. Which kind of astounds me. At least insofar. I have... Just because he doesn't actually have to reload if he doesn't want to. Moze, you can go with bottomless mags, but it's just not as good. So she also doesn't have the same kind of fire rate increase that Flak does from Overclocked. And her damage formula just is not as conducive to this stuff. Like, it really gives a huge boost to splash damage, yes. But for me, the Flak build is much more fun because I can get my ASCs up, I don't have to Iron Bear hop. And the stopgap makes me pretty much immortal. As long as I don't act like an idiot. Alright, speaking of acting like an idiot. Alright, so he's down. And let's just shoot him, and then whenever the stickies go off, it should kill everything in the surrounding area. Yep. Right, for Mayhem modifiers, let me just list those off real quick. So I have... You basically want things that spawn other things, because they tend to die in the crossfire of your massive explosions. So I've been running Death and Freeze Tag as well, and then the easy modifier doesn't really matter. I've been running Speed Demon. Alright. I don't have any kill skills on right now. Alright, so let's swap. And just take out the Kraken bit by bit. And, alright. Kraken down. Okay, easy money. Let's clear these guys out. And as you can see, that nearly one-shot everything around. If I had shot an extra time instead of reloading, everything would have died. And, okay, so that's clear. Alright. As you can see right now, we've not lost a lot of ammo. I think I said 1900 before when I meant to say 1200. Right, need to ASE. Okay, there goes their shields. So, yep, and let's take them out real quick. And boom, boom, boom. I said boom, boom, boom. There we go. All right. And swap. Siegfrieda should go down momentarily. Fantastic. All right. And yeah, everything's dying. Big explosion like usual. And yeah, the mobbing is really what makes this build so fun. Just the explosions are so nice. And boom, boom, boom. Builder. Swap. Feel free to die at any time, Hilder. Alright, there we go. How'd I kill you? Alright. Yeah. So let's just shoot the guy in the middle. And yeah. Everything just kind of died. Ain't that pretty. And sticky, sticky, sticky. So yeah, it doesn't boss quite as fast as a lot of other flak builds, but it doesn't really matter too much. So yeah, as you guys can see, still doing wonderfully. Alright. And okay. Alright. Let's kill the little guy. Which I ended up killing. That ended up chain killing, which is pretty cool. So yeah, as you guys can see, I've only lost like 200 ammo, and I'm halfway done with the entire takedown. So let's keep it moving. Oh, my pet died. Alright, I'll let him respawn real quick. Actually, nah, I'll just go him. It's like, while I do lose damage, it doesn't matter too much against mobs. Especially trash mobs like this. It's only 30 seconds. There's a big boom. Let's get those big booms back. See, look at that. Big booms. Hello there, Mr. Stealth. How can I brutally murder you today? Alright, and pet's back. So we're good there. And kill him up, kill him up. And that explosion only did 27 million damage. Yeah, so you hit some pretty crazy damage numbers while mobbing. Like, I have an incendiary weapon, I just haven't needed it. Mostly because the racks also do lots of incendiary damage. And everybody dies right before my eyes. So yeah, you just kind of keep doing this. Bridge is coming up next. A lot more things are gonna die. Yeah, so I actually have, like, I've basically lost 40 ammo since the Valkyries, I think. And a lot of that just comes from missing. Oop, I downed myself. Duh. Yeah, barrels kinda end up downing you a lot with this build, because every barrel gets destroyed like you just saw. And reload. Kill him up. Kill him up, Buttercup. Go fast because of Speed Demon and shoot the flamethrower. Is that another flamethrower? Why do there have to be so many of them? When you're running a Peregrine class mod, The racks actually need to trigger damage in order for the grenade to drop. So if I had shot the racks at the flamethrowers, then I wouldn't have gotten the grenades. And the grenades actually end up doing a pretty nutty amount of damage. For people who aren't familiar, the pipe bomb was bugged when the game came out, and if you hit it at the right spot, it would yeah, I just kind of one-shot him. Yeah, I have more ammo now than I did earlier. Like, you're net positive on ammo as long as you're properly hitting your targets, which I don't always do. Part of that is because the stickies all crit. And my aim isn't the greatest, which is why I play Amara and Moze, because I'm lazy. But for this Flak build, this is definitely the most fun I've had on Flak. This is probably the build I'm going to be sticking with for a really long time. Please stop shooting me. Alright. So yeah, we're most of the way done with the bridge now. Okay, feel free to just go die in a hole somewhere. And alright. So during the WOTAN fight, it's not going to be too hard. I'm not going to switch or anything. Because honestly, with the amount of stuff that WOTAN spawns, I'd just be losing damage. The Pearl would probably be... So the Pearl would probably be worth it if he was alone, but he's got so many things I can mob that he's actually going to get hit by the radiation explosions sometimes. Which is just super convenient. Okay. Let's go down, thank you. Alright. Okay. Yeah, so those racks did 12 million damage. It's a pretty significant amount. Like, literally, we're dealing millions of damage per pellet a lot of the time, and then the explosions are just nasty. Okay. So yeah, let's swap to the fire one, which is still on impact. But I don't want it to be on impact, so that when it goes off, I can one-shot the other guy in the room. Alright. And, yep, take him out. Boom, boom, boom. So yeah, element matching, super duper useful for those big beefy enemies. The radiation buffs are mostly for taking out the small fry. I just accidentally used the vending machine like I said I wouldn't, but as you can see, I did mean 1200 earlier in the video. Yeah, you saw up until then, I was barely using ammo. Okay, so here's WOTAN. Before getting all the kill skills up, it'll take a few shots to get rid of WOTAN's shield, but it's not such a big deal. There we go, okay. Alright, stickies went off. So now I just need to take some things out. Pet's down, so that's going to be a little annoying for a bit. But now I just swap to here. Let the bullets fly. And yeah, that didn't take very long at all. So somehow I just blew up a corroder heavyweight with a corrosive gun. I'm going to pretend I understood that. Okay. Alright. Let's element swap so that I don't die here. Thank you. Okay, and then let's get around the shield. Alright. So yeah, we got kill skills up. And now we just gotta... Alright, sticky, 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 sticky. So yeah, WOTAN's crit spot is on his back, in case you didn't know. So yeah, let's get in some stickies real quick. Alright. Alright, I'm probably gonna go down here. Yeah, alright. Oh, pet's back. That was convenient timing. Alright. So, oops. God damn it. Let's take out the shield over up here. And pet's down as well. That is not epic. How the fuck? Okay. You know what? We'll take it. That hasn't happened yet. So many things in my face. Okay. Yeah. I genuinely don't know how that just happened. I guess there was a really big chain explosion and I killed him Amara style. Okay then. I don't think there's really a better way to show off how busted this build is than to literally one-shot WOTAN by accident. So yeah, there we go. I one-shot WOTAN by accident. We're done here. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, yada yada yada. Also, I got merch in the description, so it would be super nice if you guys check that out too. See you guys in the next video. If you want Borderlands content from me, please tell me in the comments because it's fun to make, even if I have to re-record things like 6 times because I don't know how OBS works yet. Alright, thanks for watching. Swank Sinatra signing off.